And the class is designed to work with seminary students, helping them think as pastors how to bridge the gap between church on Sunday and work on Monday. But the course has a kind of unique twist to it, if you will, because while we do talk about certain types of discipleship strategies within the life of the church, the primary focus of the class is to encourage our students as ministers to move beyond the boundaries of the local congregation and enter into the everyday work lives of their parishioners to learn to listen carefully in the ways in which work actually informs their journey of faith and their practice of discipleship on a day-to-day basis. And so the students are encouraged to listen carefully as parishioners, people that they know define what we call their workspace. This means a particular way of bounding the working environment that kind of defines the way that environment shapes the worker themselves. Sometimes that can be physical space, such as a cubicle or a production line, but other times it can be internet space, particularly in the way in which distance technology or web design informs the person's everyday work life, or interpersonal space, and particularly for those who travel a lot as a part of their business or part of their work. And then as the student actually listens to people talk about faith and work and how they inform each other within this workspace, they try to name certain practices as well as attendant virtues that come out of the working environment that actually enriches the worker's faith journey. And then if there are gaps, if there are deficiencies or challenges within that workspace, we encourage our students then to come alongside the worker and begin to suggest certain types of practices, certain things that they might do that are not antithetical to their everyday working lives, but would actually help richen and deepen their faith journey from within that particular workspace. The course begins by talking about the gap between church on Sunday and work on Monday, partially because a number of our students may not recognize that. And then we move pretty quickly to begin to talk about a very, very detailed and informed theology of work. And we listen carefully to a number of thinkers when it comes to the way in which we articulate work as a part of the Christian journey. And we also require that students read a basic primer on Christian economics. One of the things I've discovered is a number of our students, if there is a social science that they're least prepared to address, it's the field of economics. So we want them to be informed by that field. And in some ways, we want them to read it to understand the kind of perspective that many workers, many business people bring to their own understanding of their faith journey, and understand that economics is not antithetical to that journey and the way in which they articulate that journey. Then beyond that, we encourage ongoing conversation, and we do talk about the kinds of structures that can be built within the life of the congregation that does respect those in their everyday work lives and enrich and inform them. But I do want to stress again that the main thing we really want them to do is to begin to talk about how that faith really occurs within the workplace itself. Now, the course has been very helpful, not only talking about economics and faith and work and developing a broader vision for that from within the class, but we've been able to bring in some outside speakers, thanks to the Current Family Foundation, that not only inform the students, but have been able to inform the broader seminary itself. And so we've had some robust conversations at the seminary in regards to faith, work, and economics as a result of this course and the speakers we've been able to introduce. It's gone so far as to actually influence the life of the denomination of the Church of the Nazarene as well. So as a case in point, Tom Nelson, who actually came first to address the seminary about this theme, was later invited to speak to a number of key leaders within Sunday school ministries and discipleship in the United States and Canada for the Church of the Nazarene, and to talk about the importance of work matters for the sake of the entire denomination, right alongside the seminary and the class, Vocational Discipleship. So this has been a very helpful course, not only in steering seminary students toward a much more deeper appreciation of faith, work, and economics, but it's also enriched the life of the seminary at total, and it's begun to start a brand new conversation within the denomination itself. So my thanks to the Kern Foundation for the opportunity to create this class and continue this conversation at Nazarene Theological Seminary.